Hello, my name is Mick Bailey and I am YouTube's man-child, back with another toy unboxing from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle franchise, and this is the show that we are calling Gingers in a Half Shell, that's right. And today I have saved one of the better figures from the rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle franchise to make it the last one in the ones that I am going to collect, and that is, of course, Michelangelo, the wild card, that's right. After a slightly underwhelming April O'Neil figure, I'm very excited to get back into the Turtles here and delve inside and see what we can expect from Mikey. And looking at the back already, he has been classified as a box turtle, and as we know from some of the previous Turtles, they do tend to like to incorporate these different characteristics of different species of turtles. For instance, Leonardo has the red sort of slashes on the side of his head as he's the red-eared slider. Donatello has a softer shell and some protective armor from being a soft-shell turtle, and Raphael is a snapping turtle, making him a bigger turtle with a more cumbersome shell. It'll be interesting to see what Michelangelo has as a box turtle. I'm going to probably butcher the pronunciation here of his weapons on the back, but he is using Kusari Fundo, so I don't know if that's a clever word for nunchucks, as I'm familiar with, but we can only wait and find out. Looking inside, we have what looks like a triple link nunchuck there, and these must be the Kusari Fundos just here. And needless to say, I imagine there's probably going to be the token ninja stars in there. And I think we've got a skateboard as well for Mikey, so that's definitely very similar to the Leonardo figure, and there is more accessories in here than I've seen in, I think, any of the other ones, really. Leo had quite a few, but this looks a little bit more interesting. So, let's do the fun part, and let's let this sucker breathe, and hopefully I won't be struggling with cable ties as I have done previously. Now, this is interesting straight away. I should have been a bit more careful opening it up, but we seem to have a little pack of stickers there, and that slice of pizza looks a little bit like one of the emojis that we use from time to time on this show. I'll pop one right here, and I can't wait to really find out what we're supposed to do with these. Doesn't really say on the packaging, but yeah, a little pack of stickers there. I'll try and clean those up for the close-up. So the customary piece of cardboard there, or paper. So we'll just discard that straight away because we don't need that. Pop the bubble out. We'll stand him here for a closer little look while we discard the card. And there we are, that's the Michelangelo within the bubble there, known as the wild card. So I think we ought to set him free, and I can already see there is a ton of cable ties here. I think in the future when I'm doing these, I should have a handy pair of scissors with me. But, right, so straight away, yep, as expected, Ninja Stars. And they are stuck in there, they are. There we go. They've really packed quite a lot into this bubble, but yeah, there we are. There is the token Ninja Stars that we find in every one of these, and that we have started to refer to as nothing more than redundant. So we'll just pop those over there. These must be the weapons that I struggle to pronounce. Pop that little bit off there. Yeah, there we are. So I don't know how much you'll see of that due to the lighting, but that looks like a boxing glove on half a nunchuck. So already a bit of a interesting take on the weaponry of Michelangelo, and we've got a one here that just looks like a flower, but it's it could be like it might be a boxing glove smashing into something like that, but it does just look like a flower. Yeah, a little bit disappointed by these accessories. I mean, across the whole range, the weapons are a little bit sort of lame. They seem to have made them more brightly coloured, usually matching the colour of the turtle that it's associated with, but they just don't look very weapony, and I guess with it being a kids range, that's what they were going for. We've got some cable tie issues on this one, so hopefully this will just slide out to get it. See, I've always found that the nunchucks on most of the turtle toys tend to break very easily because they don't go with like a chain, they go with a thinner piece of plastic like they have done here. It's completely rigid, so as a nunchuck, it's going to suck. But yeah, it's okay. It just looks like a deconstructed bow staff, that, to be honest. I remember having a bow with my original Donatello figure that I tubed the hell out of, and it ended up looking a little bit like this. But yeah, I mean, a lot of accessories so far, but not really anything to write home about. Mikey is tied in by the feet and the arms. The feet, the arms, the waist, is absolutely everything. But anyway, we have a skateboard, a little bit similar to Leo's, and this one actually, can't see it, but I will show you later, actually does move a lot better than Leo's did. Leo's wheels were quite rigid, which was annoying when I was testing it, but it actually makes for really good displays now. So, however, if I put this one down and it starts rolling around, I could lose Michelangelo down the back of my storage unit. But, okay, that's good. And last but not least, we need to try and set Mikey free from his bindings without causing damage to the figure. Oh, this seems to be a good approach for doing it. I just rip the bubble instead in several places. There we are. That was a lot easier. I didn't even have to get my teeth around that one, so that was good. And this is the first close-up look of the Michelangelo figure, and already there I can see a few interesting little bits there. Like the utility belt's very different to some of the other ones, and we've got like a little holster on the front here, which I'm not entirely sure, but I think that would probably be for something like this, the boxing glove. Nothing round the back. I don't know what would make this a box turtle, what characteristics make him a box turtle. A lot of articulation, but I mean, I'll be honest, the arm is all over the place. I don't really know what you're supposed to do with that, because this will only pivot up and down. It won't go in. It's absolutely rigid there. That is a very unusual. You could quite easily break this figure, if I'm honest. It's absolutely solid. Like, if this was a kid's toy and you wanted to just pose him just stood regularly, you're going to have a very hard time doing that, because how on earth does that work? Okay, there we are. I think I've got that, but it just makes it look like Mikey's broken his arm. Yeah, interesting pose. So yeah, already there, a little bit sort of disappointing on the articulation. I mean, like, what's that? What pose is this? I don't know if it's just that I can't quite move it, or I'm being a little bit delicate with it, but yeah, it's disappointing. The legs seem to be very similar as well. Very, very hard to manipulate around to make it look normal. So the actual style and the way that this figure's been put together is very peculiar. I mean, there is multiple points of articulation, so the feet can go back and forth. They can also twist in and out. The knees have a bend in them, and so do the hips, but the hips have a double one there. The arms are just very, very peculiar. I do not understand that at all, but it is a cool figure, and I'm glad to get back into reviewing ones that actually have a lot more detail, because Splinter and April was so disappointing. But yeah, this is, I would say Raphael's still my favourite at the moment, and there are a few little bits of imperfection on this figure, which I'll show you in the close-up, obviously, but yeah, it's okay, it's alright, it's not the best, and I am kind of glad that we're getting to the back end of this range now, and I can start looking into some of the other Ninja Turtle figures. So what I'm going to do is flip this camera around, and we'll have a closer look at the figure itself. So here we have the close-up of Michelangelo, and as you can see right there on the head already, some major imperfections. I mean, there's like almost a hole just above his bandana. The lines aren't particularly crisp or clean. Where the figure has been molded and put together, you can see multiple joins. So I mean, it is quite a cheap figure range. Even on the utility belt there on the close-up, you can sort of see it's a mess. Going down a bit, you've got some detail on the shell there. I suppose that's just sort of the front of the shell is supposedly, I guess, just to sort of portray Michelangelo as being a bit of a fun guy as he's painted his shell there. So we come down a bit further, he's got like a little smiley face there and crossed out face there, and again you can see some real imperfections, like as we get really close there, little bits of plastic just sticking off of the figure. I do think Playmates have really let themselves down with this range on the whole, because it's quite apparent that people love the Ninja Turtle figures, and I've found some fantastic groups on Facebook recently that have proven this. The back of the figure displays that the weapons are held in both Mikey's hands, but the rickety bent bow staff is nowhere to be seen. The redundant ninja stars there, obviously, and just above his head there is close up of the pack of stickers that come with it. There's all sorts there. I don't really know where they're supposed to go because there's not a great deal of space on the skateboard for them, so maybe they're just to use about your house, I guess, you know, who knows. But yeah, as we go down here, we've got the skateboard and we've got the sort of distorted bow staff there. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, I guess on the skateboard, no, can't even put them underneath either. The stickers aren't going to go anywhere on there, really, are they? Because they're quite big. But yeah, there's the figure. And we'll see if we can pop Mikey on the skateboard there. Will his foot go on properly? This is where I struggled with Leo last time, trying to do this one-handed, wasn't it? So there we are, it's about in the middle. There he goes, and he's going to probably fall over because it's awkward making him stand up on this thing. And yep, he's not a very good skateboarder. So if I just show you the back as well, the belt there looks like it's been chewed by a dog. And this has just come fresh out of the packaging. And there's a little fleck of orange paint on there as well, which is very disappointing. Oh, and on the hand as well. Yeah, you can tell that they've rushed this, and Playmates, you should be really disappointed with the way these have come out. It's like they've been rushed, really. Bandana there, quite short compared to some of the others, but look at that there. That has just been absolutely chewed to pieces. And there's paint all over it, and yeah, it's a messy figure. It's a very messy figure. And even if I try and stand up Mikey here, oh look, looks like he's ready for the toilet, to be honest. But there's Mikey, and we'll flip it around and have a little conclusion. So there you have it, another figure, and it's the last one that I plan on collecting in the immediate future of Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because as I've said before, I'm not going after the villain characters. But that, of course, was Michelangelo there. Not a bad figure, not the best, not the worst, but yeah, like somewhere in the middle. It's okay. I would probably say Raphael was my favourite, maybe followed by Leonardo, then Donatello, then Michelangelo. This one's just been painted really poorly, and even like all the little random bits of plastic all just hanging off of it, just disappointing. And the accessories, I mean, like, out of all of them, why has this one got stickers? And it says nothing about it on the packaging or anything, what you're supposed to do with these. But yeah, that seems to be the whole range, really. There's not a lot of rhyme or reason to any of it. I don't entirely understand. And I don't know if that's just because I've not seen much of the cartoon itself. But yeah, I am looking forward to delving into some of the figures that I fondly collected when I was younger, and some of the ones that came out a little bit later. It's sort of in between this range and the 1988-89 figures. But yeah, here we are. I've even got him on his skateboard, so... Mikey. My name has been Mick Bailey. I am YouTube's man-child. This has been Gingers in a Half Shell. Please comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel. We've got a lot of exciting new shows coming up soon. More Ninja Turtles, more Wrestle Crate, and some fun stuff to do in your spare time, I guess. So thank you very much, and I will see you next time.